William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar is one of his most powerful Roman tragedies. Set in 44 BCE, it dramatizes the political conspiracy against the Roman dictator Julius Caesar, his assassination, and the subsequent civil war. What makes the play so memorable is its complex characters, each driven by ambition, loyalty, love, or political ideals. Let's explore the 7 most important characters in the play. Julius Caesar enters the stage with the aura of a god but the flaws of a man. His presence is commanding, broad-shouldered, proud and adorned with the invisible weight of empire. He walks through Rome not just as a leader, but as an idea, an embodiment of power and permanence. Yet beneath the facade of invincibility lies a man dangerously deaf to warnings. The soothsayer's chilling words, "Beware the Ides of March," roll off him like raindrops on marble. He dismisses his wife's dreams and the cries of Rome, choosing instead to believe in his immortality. In his final breath, the mighty Caesar is brought down not by foreign enemies, but by friends with Roman daggers. His dying words, "Et tu, Brute," echo across centuries, the ultimate cry of betrayal. Noble in bearing and gentle in manner, Marcus Brutus stands at the heart of the tragedy like a statue cracking under its own weight. Torn between love for his friend and loyalty to the Republic, he is a man at war with himself. His eyes are deep with thought, his voice steady with reason, but his heart trembles with doubt. Brutus believes in the purity of his cause. He is no murderer in his own mind, only a surgeon removing a tumor before it grows malignant. And yet, with every step he takes toward justice, he walks deeper into tragedy. When Rome burns and civil war erupts, Brutus is left clinging to ideals in a world that no longer honors them. His death is quiet, poetic, and dignified, a self-inflicted end to a life lived with painful honor. If Brutus is a flickering candle of conscience, Cassius is a wildfire of envy and cunning. Lean, sharp-eyed, and restless, he prowls the stage like a serpent in a senatorial robe. Words are his weapons, deceptive, passionate, and filled with urgency. He burns with resentment at Caesar's rise. "Why should he be more than you or I?" he hisses, planting seeds of doubt in Brutus's mind. His manipulation is masterful, his arguments rich with flattery and fear. But Cassius is not merely a villain. He is complex, wounded by Rome's shifting loyalties, driven by a desperate need for control. In the end, it is not ambition, but despair that takes him as he dies believing the cause is lost. At first glance, Mark Antony seems no match for Rome's intellectual elite. Jovial, athletic, and loyal to Caesar, he is the golden boy of the Roman crowd. But behind his handsome face and disarming charm lies a political genius with the patience of a lion. At Caesar's funeral, he steps forward with deceptive humility. "I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him," he says, then ignites the crowd with carefully chosen words and theatrical flair. As his voice rises, Rome rises with it. Fire spreads, daggers are drawn, and civil war dawns. Mark Antony is not just a friend seeking revenge. He is an artist of rhetoric and emotion, a master of transformation who reshapes the fate of Rome with the power of speech alone. In a world dominated by men and politics, Portia stands as a quiet but formidable figure. With eyes that see beyond Brutus's stoic mask and a voice that trembles with both tenderness and strength, she demands to be heard. She kneels before her husband not as a servant, but as an equal, showing the wound she has inflicted upon herself to prove her constancy. There is courage in her vulnerability and dignity in her plea. Her fate is a tragic whisper in the chaos that follows. Her suicide is not an act of weakness, but of despair, a mirror to Brutus's own collapse of hope. Calpurnia glides through the play like a dreamer walking among realists. Her heart is tethered to omens, her mind haunted by visions. The night before Caesar's assassination, she is shaken by nightmares of blood, stained statues, and the fall of Rome's future. She clutches at her husband's robe, her voice trembling with fear, urging him to stay home. But Caesar, wrapped in ego and rhetoric, brushes her aside. Calpurnia is the voice of intuition, of femininity, of the divine. And in her silence after Caesar's death, we hear the ache of prophecy ignored. When Octavius appears, he is still a young man, barely tested by war. Yet there is something immovable in his gaze, a cool steadiness that foreshadows emperors to come. He steps into the storm after Caesar's death with calculated precision. Quiet, observant, and unshaken by Antony's dominance, he absorbs the chaos and waits for his moment. His words are few, but his resolve is absolute. Octavius is the next chapter in Rome's story, a leader shaped not by love or grief, but by destiny. As the play ends, it is his future we glimpse, not Brutus's ideals or Antony's passion. Each character in Julius Caesar is a world unto themselves, complex, flawed, and achingly real. Shakespeare does not paint with black and white. He uses shadows, contradictions, and emotional depth. Julius Caesar, the man who believed himself immortal, falls to mortal wounds. Brutus, the embodiment of honor, becomes a killer. Cassius, the mastermind, dies in despair. Antony, the friend, becomes the avenger. And in the silent strength of Portia and Calpurnia and the steady ascent of Octavius, we witness the full spectrum of love, fear, ambition, and fate. Rome lives and dies on this stage, but the hearts that once beat beneath its marble columns still echo in our own.